Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called This Train Station Has No Business Being This Good. This is from a channel called Not Just Bikes, so check it out. Train stations are usually, well, it depends. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But ultimately, it's just a train station. I don't know, maybe this one has something special. We'll see. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
A few months ago, I agreed to a short contract that meant I'd need to go to a small city about 50 kilometers away from Amsterdam on a regular basis. At first, I thought I'd have to drive to get out there because I've lived in way too many countries with terrible public transport. So I was very happy to see that I could easily get there by intercity train.
Great.
Still, when I arrived for the first time, I was genuinely shocked because not only was there a train station, it was one of the nicest little train stations I've ever seen.
I mean, it's pretty from the outside.
This station is so ridiculously nice. The first time I came here, I just wandered around going, wow, look at this, and this, and that over there. Oh, wow. This country never ceases to amaze me. But okay. I'll get into all these great things in a minute. Just let me give you some context first. This is Zeist, with a population of about 65,000 people.
Tiny town.
And this is Driebergen, a town of about 19,000 people.
Even tinier.
And this is the Driebergen-Zeist train station, located between the two of them.
Oh, it's right in the middle. Love it.
There's been a train station in this location since the mid-1800s, but it was a relatively unremarkable station in the middle of nowhere. It was
It was the 1800s. I hardly doubt things were amazing back in those days.
To stop on the way to somewhere else. This station didn't know where it was. First, it was just called Driebergen, then Zeist-Driebergen, then back to Driebergen, and finally to its current name.
Maybe it was because the cities, because they're close to each other. Maybe at one point it was Driebergen, and then at another it was Zeist, and whatever, because the city limits change.
Name of Driebergen-Zeist. The station became famous in the 1950s as the coffee station, where a whole family would come out to sell coffee to the entire train at once.
Oh my god, I love
to
that.
serve everyone before the train
That's incredible.
Passagiers die geregeld op deze lijn reizen weten al welke ontvangst hun te wachten staat. De koffiefamilie heeft er een eigen systeem voor. Ze regelt het zo dat ze de hele trein in één keer kan bedienen.
I stupidly thought it was I have to get out of the train and order my coffee, but of course not. That wasn't done back in those days. Literally, someone's pouring your coffee right there. I mean, it's incredible.
And then apparently everyone would just chuck their coffee cups out the window, giving a job to this guy who had to go along the tracks to clean them all up.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I can confidently say that I have never seen anyone throw their garbage out of a train here, but I was also never offered any coffee on the platform either.
They should.
Nowadays, Driebergen-Zeist should be known as the best small train station in the Netherlands because I'm pretty sure it is.
How many of there are?
The station was newly renovated and opened in May of 2020, but it kind of flew under everyone's radar because of the COVID lockdowns. The previous station layout here was pretty bad. There was a busy level crossing right on the main road into town.
I wouldn't call it bad.
Get this. This level crossing was active for 20 minutes out of every hour, which is wild. You can hear the level crossing sound constantly going off in this video of the old station.
Oh, it was constant?
By the way, thanks to CabView Holland for being clairvoyant enough to film the whole station right before construction started, and for letting me use his video.
Okay, no.
He puts out lots of videos that show a train driver's view of the Netherlands, and they're really interesting, especially if you're a fan of railways. I'll put a link to his channel.
That's your view? That's incredible.
The old level crossing situation was a pain for drivers, of course, but there were also plans to send 11 trains per hour per direction through this area, and there's no way they could get that kind of volume through a level crossing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Now, the station is at ground level across a 140-meter span, and the area under was dug out to fit everything else. For example, the road now goes under the station, which makes the whole area significantly safer and more efficient for everyone.
Now it looks futuristic.
This station is very well serviced by trains. 6 trains per hour per direction stop here, despite the combined population of the region being under 100,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised, because it's not that many people, and 6 trains for that small amount of people. That's incredible. Other countries should learn a thing or two from this. People.
And there are now 4 tracks here as well, so express trains can pass stopping trains. The construction of the new Driebergen station was crazy. They built a temporary station and kept it open to trains almost the entire time.
Yeah, because then, if we're doing a new one, then what do you do with the people that are using this? Hey, come back in, 3 years when we end up doing this.
The longest downtime was a 16-day period where 750 people
16
worked
days.
in shifts, 24 hours a day, so that 2.5 months of work could be compressed into about 2 weeks.
That's sufficient. It's incredible.
The planning that was needed to pull this off must have been epic.
It was really hard.
Now, as I mentioned, Driebergen station is not really in Driebergen or Zeist.
It's in the middle.
In an area in the middle and surrounded by a lot of forests.
It's pretty.
And
I love it.
This very lovely park, too.
It's nice.
This is not exactly an ideal location for a train station, which is why this station needs to have very good connections to the outside
because
world.
It doesn't lead you anywhere. Okay,
So this redesign makes Driebergen Zeist much more than just a local train station. It's now a transportation hub for the whole region.
You're going places, literally.
Since this is the Netherlands, there's a beautiful and functional bicycle parking garage. This garage holds around 3,000 bicycles. Look at how open, bright, and spacious this is, despite being under a train station.
The concept of the bicycle parking lot, parking lot, to me is just so foreign. It's just very weird.
Just ignore the glare off the glass. I couldn't get a better angle of this, okay? Trust me, it's awesome.
Yeah.
From this bicycle stable, you can also pick up the OV Fiets rental bicycles, including these electric models. These are really handy in a location like this, where the train station is not in the center of the city, so longer distances may be required to get to and from the station by bicycle.
You're saving the effort.
And here's the best part of this garage. There's an elevator that literally takes you from the bottom of the bicycle parking garage right up to platform level. This is so great. Man, this country,
you can use the platform. It's really not that.
I love it here.
It takes you
I also love what they did with the historical elements on the platform. You can see how they took the old platform roof, refurbished it, and elegantly integrated it into the new roof for the larger platform. It's a really nice attention to detail.
It's nice,
the main entrance to the bicycle parking garage is right off this nice bicycle path that runs under the station. There's no road along this side of the station, so this is a really safe and pleasant place to cycle. Despite being underneath a train station, this place is very open and inviting, which is important for social safety.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you don't feel like a basement dweller. It's nice, it's open. It's like, we like bright open spaces.
This is always taken into consideration when the Dutch design infrastructure. This area under the tracks is very open and well lit, and the walls are curved to avoid the dingy tunnel feeling that you get from many other underpasses. There are multiple sets of stairs here, as well as an elevator to get up to the platform level. Underneath the stairs are some decorative rocks, as well as the "Any bicycles parked here will be removed" sign, which is surrounded by parked bicycles, as is typical in the Netherlands.
Is it typical? And
There's also a small waiting room where you can sit if the weather is particularly cold and miserable.
Isn't that the
And there's a restaurant and a cafe, but sorry folks, it's not the 1950s anymore. You gotta get your own damn coffee. You can still get free water from the bottle refill station though.
Oh, I love that.
It's interesting to note that there are no fare gates at this station, which really surprised me because you see them at most stations in the Netherlands. Here, there's just a few ticket machines and a handful of places to tap your OV chip card or credit card to pay for a ticket. The north side of the station connects very nicely to this bus station, where buses regularly come and go, connecting travelers to the surrounding region. I was surprised just how many buses come through this area,
and there's also
how many boarding areas there are too. How many, you may ask? There are J bus platforms.
Wow.
I also enjoyed how this office building had its main entrance off the bicycle path and across from the bus station, instead of having it on the other side of a parking lot, like is so common in other cities. In fact, this whole bus station is immediately accessible from the train station without needing to cross any roads or parking lots.
Everything's connected.
I love how well the Netherlands designs their train stations so that you can easily get to and from it on foot, by bicycle, or by public transport without ever needing to interact with cars at all.
It's incredible design.
Unfortunately, to go from the train to the bus, you have to go down from the platform level and then back up again to the bus platform, which I must admit is a bit annoying.
Well, but if you're separated by cars, or you're expecting to get to the bus, of course you need to get to where the cars are, but it doesn't bother me.
Especially if you can't take the stairs and need to go the long way around via the ramp.
But how long?
This is unavoidable
is
with a central platform, and I suspect this design is the only way they could fit 4 tracks through this area.
Probably.
As you go past the bus station, and therefore the end of this new project, you can see that this is not some kind of urbanist paradise, but rather a relatively remote part of Zeist. There's a car dealership and a gas station immediately opposite the bus platforms. And there's a busy intersection with the main road and a bicycle path going into town. Still, it amazes me how safe the cycling infrastructure is, even here, with a safe 2-way crossing and a bicycle path in front of the car dealership and gas station, which is even big enough for this flatbed tow truck to unload a car in it while still leaving room for people to cycle around.
Oh.
Not that he should be parked here, but, you know, gotta get them cars delivered, I guess. It's much nicer without the truck.
The truck didn't bother me.
One thing that surprised me is that
this is pretty.
these
Are those
townhomes
houses?
are right next to the car dealership.
They're gorgeous.
And directly across the street from this business park. This is certainly an interesting example of mixed-use zoning.
Yeah, but it's fine.
On the other side of the station is the only place where you'll see cars, at this small drop-off area. This is right off the main road and doesn't cross any of the bicycle paths, so there's never any conflict between people cycling and people dropping off by car. You can see from this angle how the drop-off area for the station is off the main road while people cycling ride on the left. And they get there by this bridge which goes over the main road. This is a great design.
It is.
The main road itself is fully separated from the station area with this underpass, and there's a 2-way cycling path on the far side for anybody cycling through. And notice how this underpass is designed correctly. The bicycle path doesn't go down nearly as far as the car lanes do because people cycling don't need that much headroom. This is so rare to see outside of the Netherlands.
Yeah, I never thought of this.
Most other cities just put the bicycle path at the same level as the car lanes, resulting in an unnecessarily steep hill for cycling.
No, it's
this
true.
proper design makes it trivially easy to cycle here, and of course, there's even more safe separation from cars this way, too. I do have an issue with this one intersection, though. I've been told that this traffic light defaults to green for cars unless a bicycle is detected, which kind of sucks, especially if you just picked up speed coming down the hill. Proving that even in the Netherlands, traffic engineers can find ways to screw up an otherwise great situation.
I'm with the car engineers.
Farther down this street is the park and ride garage for 600 cars, which provides access to the station by people with no other.
That's insane because there's fewer parking spaces for cars than bikes, because it was 3,000 for bikes, which I think it's wild.
Option than
only
to
600
drive.
For cars.
What I find interesting about this, though, is that the park and ride garage is not next to the station or in the station. It's farther away.
How far?
This keeps dangerous car traffic away from the station area, making it safer for everyone outside of a car. And you might have noticed that there are over 5 times as many parking spaces for bicycles than for cars. It's obvious that cycling is the favored method of travel to and from this station, followed by bus and passenger drop-off.
But that's still
it should
a car,
be possible to drive to a train station like this, but driving is not and should not be the primary way that people get here, and this has been made very clear in the design. All in all, this station design is amazing. I absolutely love it. And I've been told that this will be the new template used to improve many other small train stations in the Netherlands, which is great.
Oh, they're doing it.
There is one thing that bugs me, though, and that's my usual complaint about a lot of modern train stations.
What?
Bad land use.
What do
the
you
area
mean?
around the station is still relatively low-density office buildings, a handful of houses, And of course, the gas station and the car dealership. Oh, sorry, there's a pancake house on the right here too.
It just dawned on me, it's a car dealership for a city that doesn't really use a lot of cars. So why would I need a car dealership if everything's, with bikes? It's weird.
Given that there are now 88 trains per day between here and Utrecht, this should really be a place where a lot more people live and work. I mean, don't get me wrong,
it's a little empty.
Way better than Canadian train stations that are often surrounded by highways and parking lots. But I was still really surprised that this station is 3 years old, but I didn't see a single construction project. By comparison, Kampen-Zuid, a relatively new station, has a large residential development right beside it that was completed in 2018.
It's very pretty.
Only 2 trains per hour per direction service this station, but the land use here is so much better than at Driebergen-Zeist.
So people don't want to live near the train stations.
I really hope there are plans to redevelop this area in the future, because having such a well-designed and well-serviced train station without a nice neighborhood around it is a huge wasted opportunity.
Maybe, yes.
In my case, I was very fortunate that the office I had to go to was walking distance from the train station, which made for a very pleasant commute. But there's one thing I just gotta mention that made this regular trip even better. The closest train station for me is Amsterdam-Zuid, but trains don't go directly from Driebergen-Zeist from Amsterdam-Zuid. They go from Amsterdam-Amstel, which is farther away.
Amstel, like the beer.
So I would either need to leave from Amstel or change at Utrecht to intercept that train. Utrecht Centraal is a great station and the busiest train station in the Netherlands, so transferring there is pretty easy. But for this particular trip, it was even better because this trip had a cross-platform transfer. My train from Amsterdam-Zuid would arrive at Utrecht, and a few minutes later, the train to Driebergen-Zeist would leave. But these trains arrived on either side of the same platform.
Oh.
That meant that my train would arrive here, and all I had to do was to go
from here
over
to
here.
there.
I know that this isn't the only place in the world with cross-platform transfers, but I love that this is a thing.
I think it hardly ever happens.
Somewhere planned that this would happen, and let me tell you, as a traveler, it's like magic. I love it. My contract is over, and it sounds weird, but I legitimately miss coming to Driebergen-Zeist. This station is such a great example of modern, practical, and beautiful infrastructure design. This is what you get when you have decades and decades of experience building great places. And when you approach a development like this as a transit hub, integrated into a fully functioning transit network, instead of just another suburban train station with a parking lot. A project like this doesn't just come together on its own. It involves hundreds of talented people working together, including engineers and other technical disciplines.
A lot of planning.
I'd also like to thank my supporters on Nebula and Patreon for paying me to film a little train station repeatedly over the course of several weeks like some kind of nutcase. Your support makes these videos possible, so thanks.
Well, it's funny that one of the things that actually struck me was how he was mentioning how the train station, it's really a little bit empty. I think that's what he was getting at. It's sort of the neighborhood. It's not really that, there's not a lot of things to do, which I think, I would assume because out of these small towns, like that's the thing, right? Everything's very peaceful and it looks beautiful. It looks nice. Well, not all of them, but this specifically because it's the Netherlands, everything's well designed and all of that. But there's still not a lot of things to do from what I could gather. There's just a few office buildings and a few houses. That is just, I don't know, like 5 houses. And then there's nothing really there beyond doing something else. So I just think, well, I don't know why that is. I would assume maybe it's because people, I get it's part of the development, the city development. And if it isn't the case, it's because they haven't wanted to, do something there. But maybe in the future, like he mentioned, this is going to change. They'll have plans and there'll be maybe, I don't know, they're going to build some other more residential buildings or some, I don't know, what else could it be, stores. Just something that makes it look a little bit bigger and it makes the town grow a little bit instead of, it's always going to be a town, but instead of a small town, it has the opportunity to grow to a little bit of a bigger town. So again, all the things that really make, because I'm thinking, from the perspective of someone that maybe, would I move there? I mean, not really. There's not a lot of things to do. They have a really great train station, but that's really there. There's nothing there beyond that. Obviously, he only showed us like this really specific part. So maybe that's not the case. But from how he was talking about this, I think that's really the case. And people don't really want to move there just because there's really nothing there. So why would I move to a place in which, great, you have an amazing train station, but unless I have actually something to do there, as in, like he said, for work or for something specific, I wouldn't actually go to check that place out just because, again, there's really nothing to do. So why would I choose to live there? Hopefully, again, in the future, this changes, but I mean, I get maybe a little bit why. It's just because, again, the thing looks a little bit empty. There's really not a lot of things to do. So it needs to grow as a city, and maybe they'll have plans in the future. This will change because, again, it has potential. The other that he was mentioning, I can't remember the name, but the other city that he mentioned that it also had this really good train station, and it was modernized. And now, after that, I think they actually started, building new stuff and all of that. That one looks a little bit nicer, but still, I have no idea what kind of things there are in that city and in that town. But still, I mean, I think I can see why. It's just because you don't really find a lot of people there because there's not a lot of things to do. So why would people willingly choose to move there? The other thing that I found incredibly funny is that they have the car dealership. Which, why? I mean, I know that to begin with in the Netherlands, I don't think cars are that popular. I think mostly people always get around on bikes. So why I wouldn't think, a lot of cars are being sold in the Netherlands. Obviously, again, I have no idea. I haven't checked out the numbers, but I would assume, most people, again, they just choose to have bikes or to own bikes. They're not actually actively, do you want to buy a car? I would assume most Dutch people will be, not really. I don't really want to because I don't have need for it. Maybe some people do willingly, they want to go and buy a car because they like having a car, just the idea of driving around, even though they're not going to abandon the bikes, which I think it's really, because I have to get used to this because I think my mind always goes, it's either this or that, but it's not, no, I mean, you have options. I mean, you can probably walk around or, again, use your bike on your daily life, but then, maybe during the weekends when you're a little bit, you don't have to, again, it's your weekend, it's your day off. So maybe you want to drive around somewhere else a little bit further away, and it's a little bit nicer because there's less traffic, and just enjoy the process of just sort of of driving. Again, I think that's really how it goes because I think in my mind it's sort of it's bikes or cars, but it's no. I mean, you can do both. There's no law forbidding Dutch people or maybe you move to the Netherlands to no, you can't buy a car. But I'm still so shocked about the amount of, there's a car dealership there in a place where it doesn't really prioritize, they don't prioritize cars. And you can see that that's really evident in the parking situation they have going on, which is hilarious to me. I already mentioned this, but it's just wild how they have so many parking spaces for bikes, but for cars, it's just 600, which, okay, then, I mean, obviously they're not expecting this to be filled. Because, again, I don't know what kind of a scenario they have in which, the 600 parking spaces, they're occupied. Probably not, right? But still, I get it. It's because more people are using their bikes or they're using, I don't know, even, their car drop off, someone's, dropping you off, or even a bus, you're not actually going, driving with your car. So why do you have a car dealership right next to the train station? That's really strange. And besides, it's a small city that apparently is a small town, and you have this amazing train station. And there's a bunch of buses that also go by there. So why would I want a car? Why do I want a car dealership so close to my house? Even though, again, and I think with cars, it's not a phone. I mean, you're not sort of, I have to switch out my phone, which even then in these days, I think people, you're not changing your phone every 1 or 2 years because if your work, if it still works and if it's still good, you're going to hold on to your phone for a little bit longer. With cars, I mean, it's not a disposable thing as in, it's been 2 years, I'm switching my car. No, I mean, cars are usually something that you have for a few years. So it's not something that I actively need to be looking, it's not, again, I don't know what kind of thing you have to be looking for, I don't know, really often. I don't know, every 2 or 3 years. I don't know. You're not even fridges. I don't know. Some sort of other appliance that you need to be, oh, it's been 3 years, I have to switch it out. So again, cars are not really like that. So why, again, I'm so shocked by the whole, I don't even got the car. No, it was just a car dealership. I don't think it had one specific car brand or something, but still, it's just really funny to me how come they have that. As for the other, obviously, again, the train station itself, I think it looks marvelous. I would like to visit. I already said, the city itself and the town doesn't really seem to be like it has a lot going on for itself. But if I ever went to the Netherlands, I think I would just visit. I would actually want to go and visit this train station because, of course, everything looks really nice. So I would visit. I mean, maybe not the town. I would do it in passing just because I'm curious, and it looks really, really nice. But I think it's just incredible how Dutch people are. I don't know. I just think obviously this is a thing they've been doing for years, and that's clear when you look at projects like this. It's not something that someone just woke up one day and said, oh, I want to create this amazing train station that's going to be, because it's efficient. I think it has efficiency in mind, but also I think it's a lot of things. I think when you look at how they're built, and sometimes they look great, from the outside, but when you actually try them on, not really, but when you're sort of walking in the space or when you're using said space, whether that's, a station, I'm talking about actually public places, not stuff as if your house, no, I mean like public spaces. Sometimes they look great from the outside, but once you actually try it and, you live there, live as in, I am doing something here for a few, for a period of time, you realize that maybe it's not that user friendly, or you realize there are several things that, oh my god, who thought of this doesn't really make sense, because it seems not tried. I think it looked great in theory maybe, or it looked really nice sort of in the I don't know, in the construction, just looked nice, but once you actually try it, in real life, it's not really that efficient, or it makes life a little bit harder. And I think that happens. That's really common. And it makes you think sometimes, were the builders and the designers, the engineers, the architects, did they try this in a setting in which, oh yeah, I am going to try this and see how the thing works? And it's really clear that a lot of the times, no human being was actually involved. It just, again, is, we're going to do this, we're going to create that and that and that, and it's going to be great. But yeah, have you actually tried it? As in, again, imagine you're a human being just having to do something here. It doesn't really happen, because again, when you actually try it, you actually realize, no, a lot of people, who designed this, it was just people that check out, we have, we're drawing this and it looks great, but when the actual sort of thing in real life is not really that good. And I think that's quite common. But in this case, I think it happens in a lot of places, but in this case, and I think specifically with the Netherlands and Dutch engineers, architects, and just everyone that works in one specific project, you can really see how everything's really, everything was thought. So it's people that I think are probably, again, because they're users themselves. So because they're users themselves, they have the capacity to be, oh, I know what we're doing, right? As in, for instance, sometimes things that you're not really thinking about. The bike situation, for instance, when they say, have to, the bicycle lane has to go to an underpass. And it's something that, you're probably not even thinking. I know I didn't, but then, oh yeah, of course it makes all the sense in the world that no, they don't really need that much headspace. So why would you need that? And again, those are the little details that tell me, oh, whoever built this and more importantly, who designed this was aware and was thinking about things, because they're probably a user themselves, so they know how annoying certain things are, or again, what's useful for you as a user. It's redundant, but that's really the truth. And even when he mentioned sort of the cross-platform transfer, I mean, I think sometimes it happens. I think if you're lucky enough, sometimes it does happen. But in this case, obviously, it was designed with that in mind. Which, I mean, I know you already mentioned, but you have to walk 1 minute. That doesn't really seem that hard. But in this case, I don't know, I just think it's so efficient. Everything sort of put together, it just looks incredible. Yeah, I like the idea that you just have to walk, you don't have to walk somewhere else to the other platform. And especially I think when you have, if you're traveling sort of long distances and because if it's just one thing of, I'm going for the afternoon, of course, this is not really that much of a problem. Or maybe it is because you sort of, it's a routine. I have to walk to the other, I have to do this transfer every single day. But so maybe it's more of a hassle if you're doing this every day or several times a week. But I'm thinking if you're traveling sort of, again, you're on vacation and you have your suitcase, your backpack, you have so many things. And of course, how easy it is I just have to walk, from one platform to the other. I don't have to do the transfer, in this huge train stations in which you have to go and you're sort of getting lost and what platform am I supposed to be going? And your bags are heavy and you're a little bit confused and you don't want to miss your train. So it's just this whole thing that it's really, I get it. It sounds a little bit of, oh my God, was your life ruined? No, of course it wasn't ruined. But I just think that those little details as this, it's something very small, but it just makes your life a little bit easier. So it's just, again, great that actually someone thought of this. And, kudos to the Dutch engineers and the Dutch designers that created this. I think it's really, again, if you're an engineer or you're an architect, I think that you should definitely move to the Netherlands. Because it's not as if, there's a lot of work. No, but I think besides that, I think there are just a lot of things I think that people can learn specifically in that sort of area, because I don't think anyone's doing it like them. It's just wild. It's something that, once you thought about it, it's, I hadn't realized until I saw it. And then, a world was open, a window was opened, and then I could see how things actually are supposed to be or are meant to be. It's, now every time you look at a sad sort of train station, you're just going to be thinking, oh man, I wish we were in the Netherlands and this Dryburg sized. I'm totally mispronouncing that, but you got the point. But that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!